Well, sometimes in your life, you just need the bubbles. What bubbles? Hello and welcome back to Beer Bubbles, everybody. As Rasmus normally says, the bubbliest podcast in the world. In this episode, we get the chance to meet all the lovely people that were at All In Brew Fest in Stockholm in the beginning of June. So join me and enjoy. So I'm standing here with Adam from Tracks. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too, mate. Lovely to be in Sweden.
And tonight we actually have a tap takeover of your brewery, but you're not there.
I'm not. I've been up since silly o'clock. I've had to go via Frankfurt and get in here, but tomorrow I'm going to be there after the festival.
So what do you think of the festival so far?
Yeah, it's nice and chilled out, quite quiet, but it's nice to be in Sweden pouring our beer for the good people. So yeah, can't complain.
Have you had a chance to try anything else from any other brewers tonight?
Yeah, ignorantly, I forgot a lot of them, but I always love the guys at Stigbergets, and I've been trying some of the local Swedish breweries, and because I always like to do that when I come to a beer festival, but as always, the beer's tasting great wherever I go in the world.
So whereabouts in the UK are you located?
We're from Manchester, UK, best city in the world.
You're staying here in Stockholm now for a few days at least, and might get a chance to see the local wildlife, so to speak. Are there any places that you have to go to? So
usually when I'm traveling with the brewery, I check out the good coffee places, the good beer places and good food. So as long as I've got that, and I've seen that Stockholm's got lots of good coffee places, so tomorrow morning that's going to be me to a few places. I've
got one more question for you, Adam. If this was the last day of your life, you're seeing the light in the end of the tunnel, and you could grab one more beer with you when you go, what would it be?
Oh my! Probably because I love silly beer. It's probably the Omnipollo soft serve because I like any beer that makes me smile and is stupid. Yeah, something like that would just make me smile and die with a smile on my face.
Thank you very much and have a great night.
Thank you so much.
So, bubbly. We're on Beer Bubbles podcast. I'm standing here with Jonas from Caleidoskope. Welcome to Beer Bubbles podcast.
Thank you very much.
So, what do you think? We are at All In Beer Fest at Elite Hotel in Stockholm. What do you think of the festival so far?
I think it's a nice festival. Lots of other great breweries to go and chat to. First time in Stockholm as well. So, a good excuse to come here.
It's not that crowded. I thought it would be much more people. Bad on you, Stockholm. You should have come. Because beers and the brewers are really the top of the top.
I agree. Shame on Stockholm. Shame. Maybe they'll learn someday. I don't know about you Swedes.
Well, you were located in Denmark. Whereabouts in Denmark?
We are from Copenhagen, the great island of Amager. So around 3 kilometers from city center.
And you've been going on since when?
We started just before Corona hit. We released our first beer in February and then the world went to shit. But now it's good to be out and about in the real world again, meeting people instead of just selling cans on the internet.
Have you tried anything here at the festival so far?
Yes.
Good answer. I asked one of the guys who said the same answer. And I asked him, what's the best you've tried? And he had really had to struggle because everything is really up there.
I think there's two different ones that I've tried so far that stands out. The Pils from 50 and 50 from Italy, holy Jesus. And the rum barrel-aged stock ale from Mariatorgets, I think. Pretty good.
I'm not going to keep you from your customers so long. This is just going to be a short interview, but I have to ask you one more thing. And this might be the hardest question in the world, but I need a snap answer. This is your last day in existence. You're going to die today. What's the last beer you're going to have?
Agostina Helles.
Thank you very much. And have a great festival.
Thank you. You too.
Yes, bubbly, bubbly, bubbly. It's the Beer Bubbles podcast, and I'm standing here with Jonas. We met last summer at Nyköpings Brewing, and I'm glad to see you again. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Nice to see you again, Christian.
And what do you think about this? This is one of the first festivals that I've actually been to since the COVID restrictions kind of released a lot more than they had last autumn and last summer. What do you think of the festival?
I think the lineup is great. It's exceptionally good for Sweden and Stockholm. Hopefully there will be a little more people on next pass, but it's very nice, and it's like always very nice to meet all the colleagues in the business.
I just spoke to Magnus at Hop Notch, and I said, "Right, did anything stick out?" And he said, "No, because the quality here is so exceptional. It's like they brought all the best of the best."
I agree. Everything is very good. I haven't tried anything less than very, very good. So it's that's correct. Yeah.
We saw you last summer. Has anything happened since then?
The big difference is, of course, that the COVID is gone, and we have been able to increase the business in the brewery and increase the business in the restaurant and brew pub, and it's going very, very well. So we are brewing and canning and working very, very hard in the business for the moment.
We were talking a bit earlier. I'm gonna put you on a spot here a bit. We were talking a bit about alcohol-free beers, and you might not want to talk about it right now, but this is one of your dreams to have.
Yeah, it's. I know that alcohol-free beer is a big business. Is a huge volume. We sell a lot of that in the restaurant and in the brew pub, but from other breweries, and of course we like to have it in our own business. But I also think that I want to do it as the big breweries do, to take away the alcohol and do a regular and very good alcohol for a beer. So we are not there yet, but hopefully
it's coming.
Hopefully it's coming. It's an investment, and I don't know. It's the first, but hopefully sometime. Yeah.
Jonas, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. I'm going to let you get back to trying some more beers, because I saw you have some more stuff standing in your little booth right now. But have a great festival and take care of yourself.
Oh, thank you, Cici. Thank you.
And I forgot something. I forgot something. If this was your last day, what beer would you drink?
Oh, that's a real tricky question. But the last beer will always be a Pilsner, I think.
Thank you. Hi guys, welcome back to Beer Bubbles. I'm standing here with Joseph from Verdant. You're in a bit of a pickle, aren't you?
Yes, we arrived here on Thursday in the knowledge that the beer will be here and fine and ready to pour, and I was told that the beer will then be available on Monday, and I leave on Sunday. So it's been lovely. I've been getting to explore Stockholm as a cultural and a beer city rather than working. I mean, I've been working.
So which spots have you hit so far in Stockholm?
Obviously, Omnipolo's hat. I went to the Stigbergets bar, which was fantastic. I forget the name of the GM there. He was fantastic. He took us through a whole load of different beers, lots of different interesting sodas and non-alcoholic stuff. And it was myself and the guys from Northern Monk and Dan from Cask here in Sweden. And we probably had 12, 13 different glasses in front of us, ranging from 0% to 15%. Just try. It was really fantastic, and he was amazing there at the Stigbergets bar. They organise all their beers in the fridges by a library system based on authors. So they had an Edgar Allan Poe and a Douglas Adams and a Terry Pratchett fridge, which I really appreciate. We then went to the German bar.
Some Franziskaner?
Yes, San Francisco, which was fantastic. Beautiful old building in the old part of town, just overlooking the water. Lots of incredible German styles, Märzens and Dunkels and Rauchschmerzens and all those styles of beer that at Verdant we make primarily big hazy IPAs and double IPAs, and so we don't get to drink that a lot. So when I can go and drink clear lagers and West Coasts and Dunkels and stuff like that, then I always jump at the chance, because we're spoilt to have all of our big dippers and hazy IPAs, but we don't get to try or at least make the other styles that much. So that's what I'll be doing when I'm here.
But you got to come down to Akkurat as well and check out our Cuvée beers with crazy lambics.
Oh, that mixed firm lambics saisons is my favorite style of beer, which is again ridiculous because I work for such a big hazy hazy double IPA brewery, but it's something I adore, absolutely adore. And I think a lot of Scandinavia do amazing mixed firm beers that don't get to see a much light of day, particularly in the UK. It's all either Belgian or the American stuff.
The festival's been on now for a few hours. Been a gap. It was quite a slow start, but now it's picking up. More people coming in. What do you think so far?
I mean, there's such an incredible selection of breweries here from not only in Europe and in Scandinavia, but from the US as well. So there's a lot of stuff that even a seasoned person that goes and works at beer festivals all over the world, there's so many breweries here that I've yet to try and have been on my radar. So it's a testament to All In and Pelle and the guys to put it on, just the quality of beer here. So I'm really excited to go and try some stuff that I've been sort of waiting to tick off.
I must say, I spoke to another guy from another brewery earlier today, and he said, like, because I asked him, "You've been around trying some beers. What's the highlights?" And he's like, "You know what? There's no highlights. Everything is absolutely fucking top notch."
It's so good in there. It's so good. I'm again going around drinking a lot of lagers and clear beers at the moment, just because I don't get a chance to. But certainly people like Gamma, their beers are akin to ours, and I think fantastic. There's a lot of the Swedish breweries I really want to try while I'm here as well that don't usually get over to the UK. So I've got a lot of drinking this evening to do.
Joseph, I've just got one question left for you. If this was your last day in life and you got time for one more beer, what would it be? Fast.
Augustina Helles.
Thank you very much, Joseph. Have a great night and take care of yourself.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Beer Bubbles, the bubbliest podcast in the world. I'm standing here at All In Beer Fest with Magnus from Hop Notch. Welcome to Beer Bubbles. Normally it's your lovely, lovely girlfriend who's talking to us.
Well, it's Jessica who's the brewer. I just do everything she tells me to do. So she knows how to brew. I know how to do what I'm being told.
And well, don't sell yourself short. You're doing all the marketing. You're doing taking care of deliveries and stuff, and you are kind of part of a couple. So you are a big part of Hop Notch.
Yes, of course. It's a team effort. Definitely, there's so much more to running a brewery than just brewing beers. But it's the beers that's the king, or in this case maybe the queen. But every part of the administration, distribution, government contacts, everything have to be done as well. It's not that sexy, but it has to be done.
So what do you think of being at a beer festival again? This must be what you actually live for.
It's wonderful. It's actually one of the few times we get to meet the customer, because we don't have a bar of our own. So we just make the product, ship the product, and hopefully see some interaction on social media. But it's when we're on a festival that we actually can meet the customer face to face and see their reaction. And it's so wonderful every time to see you serve a beer to someone who's a bit skeptical, and then you see their face light up in a smile and say, "Yeah, this is good."
I know you've been here all day now. It's not that late. It's only 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Have you been able to try anything else from the other exhibitors?
Yes, actually, I did the rounds about an hour ago, taking a few samples everywhere, because I'm driving tonight, so there's not much drinking for me today. Jessica is driving tomorrow, so hopefully I have to do some more testing tomorrow.
Did anything stick out to you?
As always, it's hard to mention one or two beers. There's so much great beers, so much great breweries. I mean, I'm a kind of guy who likes the hoppy stuff, and good hoppy beers here. The sour beers I have not tried, and also a few imperial stouts which I tried, just a little taste, and really good as well.
I must say, I've done the rounds as well. I've been around here now checking out most of the brewers, and in my opinion, the quality is extremely high. As you said, it's hard to mention one, because everything is, the quality is extremely high all over the board, so to speak.
Yes, it's not like every Tom, Dick and Harry is here. It's great breweries presenting great beers.
Well, I'm not going to keep you away from your little stand and your beers anymore, but it's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you this time instead of Jessica, who I'm normally talking to when it comes to the podcast. But have a great day and take care of yourself. Just going to ask you one thing. If this was your last day in life, what beer would you drink?
Well, if this was my last day in life, I'd probably go for our Imperial Hop Start, a double IPA West Coast style.
Thank you very much, Magnus. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, from Stigbergets, Ollie is back again.
Hey up. I'm back. I'm back.
How you doing, man? You all right?
Yeah, all good here. Enjoying a nice sunny Stockholm weekend.
And we're at All In Beer Fest.
Yeah, we are indeed. All In has just started its first branching into Stockholm. So it's quite fun to see a bit of Gothenburg, but also still, local good craft beers from all over Sweden and bits outside as well. But good to see, because my experience at least is that Stockholm hasn't got as many independent beer festivals tied to it. Not in a negative way, but more just looking on the outside in. But it's quite nice to see more of a spotlight on small brewers doing beer and stuff.
In Stockholm, there's more fairs than festivals, basically. It's more of a get the business in. It's like that, and especially down in Gothenburg and in Skåne, it's more like, let's have a party.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know, because I've been to Stockholm many, many times, mainly for the Öl and Whiskey Messe, which is, it is what it is. It's not bad, it's not good, but it's, the second you walk in, seeing the huge cash flow of exposure spent on, the big breweries compared to, the small, all the small breweries do have a stand and everything, but it isn't, the spotlight isn't the quality of what's in your glass or anything. The spotlight is how are we going to sell the most kind of stuff. You still have a good time and have fun at it, but it's just different to when you compare it to something like this, where it's just all about what is in your glass at the end. It should be good beer. I mean, you can see it as well as you look around here right now, that every brewery has exactly the same, here's the name, there's the kegerator, done. It's not about who can show off and have the biggest, fanciest accolades. It's all about, you like what you like, we like what we do.
It's not about I can afford a big neon sign, you can't.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about what you have in the keg. Done.
I spoke to Magnus at Hop Notch, and I tried to push him and say, because he'd been around trying some stuff, and I said, what's sticking out? And he said, nothing's sticking out. It's all extremely high quality. Would you agree?
I mean, everything, because I've always done my classic where these days I always just want to find a nice Pilsner. Just a nice, easy, sessionable beer, because, the same, we've brought 7-8% IPAs because that's what the customers want. But everything I have popped around and tried has been, of course, top notch. Yeah, it's all been absolutely fantastic. So there's no... it's quite nice coming to beer festivals where you don't have to go, oh, where's the good one? It just kind of like, oh, who's the closest one is what is more important. Just who can I just get a beer off immediately because I know it's going to be good regardless.
And do we need more of these festivals and fairs?
I think so. I mean, I think it'll be quite fun. I know because at Stigs we've been talking about doing... we're looking to do our own festival in kind of celebration of our 10-year anniversary next year. Well, we're thinking of maybe doing a few little, not little, like medium-ish parties, but more focused towards like having, rather than just going, here's a beer festival where everyone always just brings all their IPAs and big barrel-aged stouts, because obviously that's the most untapped worthy of the beers. We're kind of thinking maybe we should do like okay, we're going to do our lager party this day. We'll do our IPA party another day where we take beers from ourselves and our friends that we really like and respect and think, let's have a celebration of this beer style, and like rather than make people... Because you're almost... The only downside to this is because everyone wants to make a good impression to the customers is that you end up having to show off the same styles exclusively. I mean, like walking around today... is there every stand has at least one, mainly two IPAs pouring, which is the popular beer style, the hypey, the bit and piece, which makes sense. But it'd be kind of more fun to kind of showcase, I think, like fun festivals like this, but you kind of more showcase the beer style. Like, okay, here's our 20, 30 favorite lagers from the world. Boom, there you go. And then the next one is here's our favorite IPAs from the world. Then we have our stouts, then we have our porters, then we have sours. You know, you maybe focus a bit more, like do them all together but separate as well.
I've got a better idea for you. I'm going to give you this for free.
All right.
You should actually have Stigbergets and a friend. Invite a brewery, let them bring different beer styles and match them all with the same from you, and just have one night, all these beers, show them off, and then next time have another brewery instead. So you get all the styles at the same time and not just the crazy stuff.
I mean, also fun because we're hoping to start doing similar things like that. Because as of, I'm hoping Wednesday, so 5 days from now, we should be opening Shangri-La in Gothenburg, where it's going to be obviously Stigbergets focused beer and tap, kind of like our first proper tap room. We obviously have Futon as well, which is like a bar, but Shangri-La is supposed to be a bit more like brewery linked focus, not just a bar that we also work with. But we're going to have at Shangri-La we'll have a separate room with another 7, 8, 9 taps, where when we do collabs and stuff, we're going to try and do a bit of a showcase to it, and we can definitely start doing. I mean, I think for me it's always a shame because we've not had the same kind of output in terms of bars in Gothenburg. We've got Kino is ours, but Kino does its thing and works really well in its right, but it's not a beer nerdy bar. It's a great bar. So we're hoping that like going forward when we do collabs and stuff that we can actually invite friends over and take a lot of kegs in and showcase it at our place in Gothenburg as kind of a bonus part of when we do the, because I mean a lot of the times, you know, you do we have people over, people are really excited to see what we've brewed up together, which is fun, but then you also feel like, yeah, they've come all the way from the US, the UK, Germany, Italy, wherever, but then you don't actually get anything more than a few Instagram photos that they were in the building.
Yeah, so do a collab and have them for a party.
That's the plan.
Ollie, I'm going to cut you short there because this is supposed to be short interviews, and I know that if you start talking, you don't stop, just like me. But I'm going to give you one last question. If you were to die today, what would your last beer be?
Timothy Taylor's Landlord, every time. It's the best beer in the world. It is ambrosia. When in old mythology, they were describing what the drink of the gods, the nectar, the ambrosia. They were describing Timothy Taylor's Landlord. It's the best beer in the entire existence.
Thank you very much, Ollie, and have a great festival.
Thank you. I'm enjoying it so far.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm standing here at Brouwerij Frontaal at All In Brew Fest with Roel.
Hi man, nice to be here.
Was that pronunciation okay?
Somewhat, it's like Brouwerij Frontaal. So it's close, but yeah.
But your name?
My name is Roel Bukens. I'm the owner and one of the brewers at Brouwerij Frontaal.
We've had a few of your beers at Akkurat. I think your stuff is fantastic, and it's so nice to see you here at All In. How do you find it so far?
The festival is nice. There's a lot of really good brewers around here, so yeah, I'm excited to be here, and I'm happy that to try some of the beers from other brewers as well.
But tell us a story about Frontaal. What is? When did it start? What is it?
Sure. So we started back in 2015, so that's almost 7 years ago. When we started super small, so we started in a sea container actually. So it was like a 200-liter system, and from there it kind of quickly grew. So we went from 200 to, in 3 years, we managed to build a bigger brewery. We built a 300-liter installation. Then we got a tap room attached to it, and we slowly expanded, and we're actually on the verge of opening a new brewery, as like an even bigger one, and that's going to happen in 2 months from now, or something like that. So yeah, exciting times. There's a lot of things going on right now. So
where in the Netherlands are you located?
We're in the lovely city of Breda, which is in the super south of Netherlands. So we are right in between Antwerp, which is Belgium, and Rotterdam, which is like 20 minutes north from us. So right in between there.
If you go there in a month from now, you might be able to try some stuff at Frontaal.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we have a nice tap room. It's a big place. So we have 31 beers on tap. There's always, I think, at least 20 beers from us on tap, and then we have like always 10 or 11 guest beers. We do a lot of events, so we always have some breweries come over. So we have, let me think, we have Superstition Meadery coming over soon. We have some breweries from America coming over. Tracks Brewing is actually coming over soon. So yeah, that's there's always something going on.
I must say that I've worked this business for 30 years now, and the reason I'm still in it is because of the people. Because the people are always fantastic. When I spoke to you the first time when I came around, the smile on your face really made me happy. And I must say, this has been fantastic so far. I just have one question left for you. If this was your last day on Earth, what would you drink? And you have to be quick about it.
It's Orval. It's a perfect brewer's beer. So Orval is the final answer.
Thank you very much, and have a great night.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thank you.
So, guys, I'm standing here with Simon from Mariatorgets Mikrobryggeri, one of, to me, most elusive breweries in the world. I've been trying to get a hold of this guy for ages and ages, and no one had his number. I've got it now. So it might turn up at Akkurat in the future again. Simon, nice to have you in the podcast.
Thank you very much. Nice to be here.
So who are you, and why did you end up doing this?
I guess I'm Simon, and I have a small brewery on the outskirts of Stockholm called Mariatorgets Mikrobryggeri. 5 years ago I took over an already existing brewery with the same name, and it was basically just 40 square meter, very small Braumeister 50 liter in plastic buckets, and I started to brew there, and I've been brewing there the last 5 years, upgraded the system to 400 liter stir kettles, and trying to make more beer.
And that's where we are right now anyhow. What do you think of this festival?
Right now I will enjoy it a lot because it's not very crowded, but I think they have successfully gathered quite a lot of, to me, very good breweries. So if I were a visitor, it will be a very good festival and good amount of people, which I guess is bad for All In. But
I spoke to one of the brewers before and I asked him what's the best beer, because he had walked around and tried some beers, and he said and I asked him what is the best beer here right now, and he said it's so hard to choose because everything is really, really up there.
I've sadly not tried as much as he probably have, because I've not been wandering about and tried so much, but what I've tried from most breweries before have been really good. So I trust that they keep the quality up, I guess.
Simon, I only have one last question for you. If you would die today, what would be the last beer you ever had? Quickly.
Getting Black Us, or Black Label.
Thank you very much. And have a great end to this festival, and have a great day tomorrow.
Thank you.
Bubbly, bubbly, bubbly. We're back with Beer Bubbles, and I'm standing at All In Beer Fest with Vas from Northern Monk. How you doing?
Hello. Yeah, I am doing good, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm well so far. It's been quite a long, good day, and finally some people are coming in and trying your beers as well, trying everyone's beers. I must say the quality of everything in here is extremely high.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. Just had the privilege of being able to go around and try some of our friends' beers, and obviously, you know, during the pandemic, obviously you're kind of at the mercy of whatever you can get in your available country and nearest shops. So it's actually really nice to see some friends who've maybe not had so much over the last couple of years and see what they've been up to and how they've developed. And yeah, just generally it's been like, yeah, super fun last couple of hours trying people's beers and catching up.
And you've been with Northern Monk for 6 years now, and they've been around for 7.5-ish. You're located in Leeds, which is, to me, that's kind of the centre of where new UK beers come. Because I know the guys from Magic Rock from way back. There's quite a lot of happening just around there between, say, London and Manchester.
Yeah, Leeds is a city that really celebrates food and drink, and in particular independent business. So we kind of came on the scene, you know, along with a lot of people, and I think really put our stamp on like the north of England. You know, people who are outside of the UK might naively believe that, like, you know, London was like the sort of centre of that, but I think, you know, with the northern spirit, you kind of get this underdog spirit, which is really cool. It's kind of like, no, like, you know, we can do this, we can brew amazing beer. And I think what you found is with that kind of spirit, you've got some really cool beers now in the north of the UK. So it's a really cool city, well worth a visit. And, you know, there's obviously our beer, but a lot of amazing beer to be had in that city.
And how did you end up at Northern Monk? Who are you and where do you come from, basically?
So I come from Brewdog originally. So I got a job kind of out of uni, and at that point I wasn't really into beer or had any good beer. And this was sort of, especially quite a few years ago when Brewdog was a lot smaller than we know it now. And they invested a lot of time and had a lot of passionate members of staff who were kind of like, oh, hey, like if you like enjoying, you know, tasting good drinks, because at the time I'd mainly sort of drank cocktails, that sort of thing. It kind of got me onto beer, and the coaching was really, really good. So I soon got into like, oh, this beer's like really cool. So okay, so if I don't necessarily just want to, you know, do work on the bar, like what are my options? And then kind of worked at Marble, which is like somewhere that's, you know, does a lot of cask beer. It's well known for that. Moved over to Northern Monk, and it was just like perfect timing really. When I joined, they were very soon looking for someone in the sales, and I didn't actually know how to do anything at that point. I just kind of learned, and because they took me under their wing, and now kind of where we are today. So yeah, like kind of learned on the job, and it's just been really cool to see it grow.
Could you, like in 5 sentences, cook down the essentials of what Northern Monk is?
It's old school traditions and taking how beer has had a place in the community and the role it plays with like sort of bringing people together, but with a progressive attitude to ingredients and techniques to create an overall really amazing experience, hopefully for the consumer. We kind of believe that you should enjoy the beer, but hopefully the experience itself is kind of what cements it in your memory. You know, I feel like most people kind of resonate with that, not just like, oh, that tasted really nice.
Vas, I'm not going to keep you from your little booth with your beer taps anymore. It's so nice to meet someone passionate about this, as everyone is in here. But I've just got to ask you one more question, and I'm really going to need a quick answer from you. And it's the hardest question in the world for someone who's interested in beer. This is your last day on Earth. you see the light in the end of the tunnel, and you get to grab any beer with you. Last beer you ever drink, what is it?
Angry Chair did a beer called Rainbow Sherbet. It's 100% that beer. Mm-hmm.
So let's go to Tampa and have some Angry Chair beers. Thank you very much, Ross. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's so nice to talk to you, and hope to see you soon at Akkurat as well.
Amazing. Thank you for having me. Loved the bar. I've been loving Stockholm, so hopefully a bit more in the future, and we'll meet again.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome back to the bubbliest podcast in the world, Beer Bubbles. I'm sitting here with Pelle Frost, one of my heroes, actually. One of the guys who's done quite a lot for this business. And one of them is doing this festival. First in Gothenburg, but now in Stockholm for the first time. What do you think of this?
I think Stockholm is a totally different animal than Gothenburg. We've had quite a big following from the start, and I'm a little bit surprised of how hard it feels to get into the Stockholm crowd. The community, though, has been very supportive, and that's been really cool.
I must say, all the exhibitors you've had here today are, as I spoke to Magnus at Hop Notch,
yeah.
And I asked him what his favorites were when he just walked around, and he said, "There's no favorites. Everything's fucking amazing." So what you are doing is fantastic. It's just so sad on this first day to see that not everyone knows how fantastic this is.
Yeah, I don't know what to say, but we've brought some really good people and some really good beer, and I'm happy that everyone is supporting me with just coming here with their beer. That's been awesome, for sure.
All In, I remember you and me about 11, 12 years ago standing outside of Oliver Twist, and you told me, "I've got something going on."
Yeah.
And from there, it's been quite a journey.
Yeah, it's definitely been a journey. The craft beer scene has been, I don't know what to say, a roller coaster out of this league. I mean, the first years, it felt like whatever we did was just taken on and appreciated, and we were filling a gap because nobody was really doing the same type of American-style beer that we wanted to produce and that we wanted to buy to the bar that I was working in. But nowadays, I mean, like most brewers actually do really solid beer. It's hard to go to any beer festival and see somebody not being on par with the rest of them, kind of.
It's because you go to the festivals that you create. No, I understand what you're talking about. The quality has
Improved.
risen
and
improved greatly over the last years.
Definitely.
And I think it's also because the community has been more and more open. Like it was in Gothenburg from the beginning, it's starting to develop all over the country that people are embracing that. Let us help each other out and we'll both do better beers.
Yeah, sure. I mean, community-wise, it was really great to see, like, Care of Hops did a stand with Stockholm beer in Gothenburg, and that made me realize that there is a stronger community in Stockholm than I believed there was, which made me really hopeful and thankful, and you know, it was just fun to see, because I had an idea that we had a community in Gothenburg and that didn't exist in the same way in Stockholm. But then they did this thing in Gothenburg with the Stockholm breweries, and I'm like, yeah, it's happening.
Definitely, because we all realize at some basic point that if we want people to drink better beer, we'll have to produce better beer.
Yeah.
And then we have to work together to iron out the kinks and like get rid of the bad and help each other out.
Yeah, sure.
you've been around smiling all day, but also a bit stressed
Oh yeah.
over the lack of people coming, the lack of people
Yeah,
coming.
well, yeah, lack of people
The
coming.
people coming are really interested and they're really into this, but how do we make people understand that this is something fantastic?
I don't know. For a couple of years, it felt like we were just doing what we wanted to see ourselves in our bar or in our festival, and that seemed to be enough for people to think it was interesting to come. I mean, like today there's so many festivals, and I understand you cannot go to all of them, and also what makes our festival into a different beer festival than any other beer festival. I understand that it can be hard to see that as a consumer or a beer-interested person, but that might not have dived deep yet into what the difference might be. I mean, we invite the brewers that we want to work with, and we could invite more, of course, because we like to work with even more than we have room for. I mean, that's a problem even. Every year with the Gothenburg Beer Festival that we do, we only invite like 45, and we try to keep it fresh, and we try to like mix things up, which is in itself a problem because we cannot invite the same brewers all the time then, because then we can't keep it fresh.
You need to have something new coming in all the time, and yep, I understand you fully. Don't lose hope on us in Stockholm, please, because this is going to be big. I tell you, it has to be big, because what you brought here to Stockholm with All In Beer Fest, we need it.
I'd love to come back, and I mean, it's tomorrow as well. So we'll see what happens tomorrow, and we'll evaluate and see if we can put on a new show next year or the year after or whatever. I'd love to. I mean, it's the biggest city in Sweden. If we can't make it work here, then maybe just should take it easy and lay back with what we know. I mean, I want to be in Stockholm as well. But I am really happy with what we do in Gothenburg, and we make that work. So,
and I've spoken to the guests who have been here, and they're going like, "This is fantastic! It's amazing." So probably tomorrow's going to be you're going to walk out of here having a big smile on your face because you're worth it, man.
Thank you. Yeah, I really hope so. I decided like a week ago that I am going to be happy with this event, whatever happens. It's going to be a fun event just to be in Stockholm and be a part of this community.
Pelle, always in the end of Beer Bubbles, when I do interviews, I have a special question. This is the last day of your life, and you see the end. It's the light in the end of the tunnel. You got a chance to grab one beer and bring it with you. What's it going to be?
Oh, damn. There was no quick answer to that one. You know, like most brewers do a really good New England style IPA or a really good pale ale these days. So I'd probably just grab one and be happy with that one, because yeah, we've reached a point where I think most of the time it's freaking awesome. I think it was called Haze, but with a C.
Okay.
And I had it with friends. They were making a barbecue and they had just bought some beer. And it was fucking awesome. And I realized then how far we've come with everything. When a beer from Umeå tastes like something that I would buy from the US a couple of years ago and would gladly pay like a lot of money for it just to get it. And it was so fucking great. And I realized if this would have been like coming from Stone a couple of years ago, I would be so fucking happy with that beer.
And you'd pay out of your ass to get it.
I'd probably do. But now it's here, local. So I'll grab that one.
Pelle, absolutely fantastic. And thank you for having me at All In Beer Fest. Gotta tell you, there's not many people out there being more genuine people than Pelle. So follow him, make sure you support him and All In Brewing. And guys, have a great night. Cheers.
Cheers.
Well, that's it for this episode. And of course, it's All In Beer Fest, not All In Brew Fest. Pelle and everyone who let us join you there, thank you very, very much. Thank you to our sponsors, Bishop's Arms, Elite Hotels, and of course, lovely Accurate, where both me and Rasmus work. You guys, sit tight till next time. There's going to be more coming up in 2 weeks. Take care. Bye.